Good morning, children. Today in this class, I am going to explain about how the earliest people were changed from their food habits from gathering food and hunting food to the growing crops and growing plants and growing food. Okay. In the previous class, we have seen what are the different types of techniques they had used to gather the food, and what are the different types of tools they had discovered, and what are the different types of discoveries they had found. Okay, these are all the topics we have discussed in the previous class. Okay, now let us see how the transmission occurred from gathering food to the growing food for the earliest people. Okay, now once remember the previous topics. What are the different types of techniques followed by the earliest people to gather the food? To gather the food, they are generally gathering tubers, and they are generally gathering fruits, honey for their food. Okay, along with the gathering food, they used the hunting of wild animals. Okay, generally the earliest people get the food by gathering and hunting. These are the two techniques they would be followed to get the food. Okay, mainly all the family members or all the people would be involved in the gathering food. Okay, mainly in the gathering of food, women and children are participated very actively. To gather the food, the women and children were actively participated in the gathering food. Gathering food like fruits, dates, honey, tubers, and pulses. Okay, these were the main food items they would be gathered. And hunting, mainly the men are involved in the hunting. They are waited for so much time to trap the wild animals. There they would be created the traps for the wild animals for hunting. Okay, these men generally gather food items like meat, fish, skin of animal skin. Okay, in this way, the earliest people would be getting the food by gathering and hunting. Okay, in gathering, mainly women and children are involved by collecting fruits, dates, honey, and tubers. Okay, as well as the men were mainly involved in the hunting of wild animals to get meat, fish, and the skin of animals. This skin would be used for the covering of their caves. Okay. Now let us see the after discovery of fire. Okay. How the earliest people discovered the fire? By striking the stones, they discovered the fire. After discovery of the fire, they used to cook the food. Fire would be used to cook the food and to roast the food, and the fire would be used to keep off the wild animals. Okay. After discovery of fire, the earliest people used the fire to cook the food and to roast the food, keep off the wild animals. To avoid the attacks of wild animals, they used fire. Okay, in these ways, after discovery of fire, the habits of the earliest people would be changed after the discovery of fire. Okay, in terms of food habits and in terms of to protect themselves from the wild animals, they will be used the fire. Okay, generally these earliest people used the small tools that are called microliths. The small tools which are made up of with small stones called microliths. The small tools that are made up of with small stones, the sharp small stone tools that are called microliths. These microliths would be used to hunt the wild animals and to remove the skin of the wild animals. They used the sharp stone tools for the purpose of hunting. These sharp stone tools are called microliths. Okay, these microliths are made up of with the small sharp stones. Okay, in this way the people had hunted the wild animals. Okay, now let us see how the people changed from hunting to growing food. Okay, generally the earliest people led the nomadic life. The nomadic life. Here, generally the earliest people would be lived in terms of groups and mobs. Under the trees and under caves, they would be lived under trees and under caves in the groups. Okay, generally the earliest people would be lived in the form of groups under trees and caves. Okay, but they always changing their living places from one place to another place continuously. So this type of continuously changing their living places or habitation, that is called nomadic life. Okay, the changing of their living place from one place to another place continuously, this type of changing their living places is called nomadic life. So the earliest people would be called as nomads. Okay, here nomadic life means the changing of living places from one place to another place continuously then it would be called as the nomadic life. It is called as the nomadic life. Okay, that's why the earliest people would be called as the nomads. Okay, now in our state, till now, so many different types of these people would be living in our state, that are the different types of tribes that were living till now, that are Yanagis, Chenchus, Gonds. Okay, these are the different types of tribes or tribal people, or the people who belongs to the earliest people. Till now they are living in the hilly regions in our state. Yanagis, Chenchus and Gonds, these were the people till now they are living in the hilly regions of in our state. Okay, those were belongs to the earliest people. Okay, generally these types of people following the nomadic life conditions. Nomadic life means the people who are changing their living places from one place to another place continuously. They would be called as the nomads. Okay, these are the Yanadis, Chenchus, and Gonds. These are the different types of tribal people who are living in our state till now by following the nomadic life. Okay, but now let us see the paintings of the earliest people. Paintings of the earliest people. The earliest people drew so many paintings on the walls of the caves and on the surface of the trees. And the large tracts of trees are on the walls of the caves. They had drew so many paintings which were the hunting scenes or the shapes of animals they would be drawn. Okay, the paintings of these earliest people were the hunting scenes, mostly the hunting scenes and the animals, the pictures of animals they drew. Okay, the earliest people drew so many big paintings on the walls of the caves that are the hunting scenes and the shapes of animals they would be drawn. Okay, they had used the bamboo brushes. They had used bamboo brushes for draw the hunting scenes and animals structures on the walls of the caves. Okay, in this way, the different types of paintings would represent the religious concept of or religious beliefs of the earliest people. Okay, now let us see the shared living of the earliest people. How the earliest people shared their food and shared their lives. Okay, now let us see the shared living of the earliest people. The earliest people, like nomads generally gathered the food by collecting all the fruits, honey and dates from the forest. Okay, just now we have discussed all the men would be participated in the hunting of wild animals and all the women and the children would be participated in the collecting of fruits and tubers and flowers for the food. Okay, but the people who are belongs to the earliest people, they would not store the any food items for the future purpose. They always shared the if they have any excess amount of food, then they would be shared to the other people. They would be shared to the older people. Like this, the people used the food. The people shared the food to the older people. Okay, now let us see. Men would participate in hunting and women and the children participated in gathering food. Okay. They did not store any food items for the future purpose. They did not store the food. Always they shared the excess food to the other people. Okay. Always they shared their food and they shared their, if any things, those they had excess amount, then they would be shared to their older people or other people. In this way, the shared living would be continued in the earliest people. Okay, here women and children were collecting honey, fruits, tubers for their food. But how they were changed to the collecting food to the growing food? Around 12,000 years ago, the climatic changes would be changed very rapidly, and the climate of the world or the climate of the earth would be changes to very warm. Okay, it would be leads to grow the to grow grasslands in the forest. Okay, by growing the temperature and by growing the warm conditions on the surface of the globe, it leads to the growing of grasslands. Okay, around 12,000 years ago, the climatic conditions would be changed rapidly on the surface of the earth, and the temperature would be changed continuously, which is very suitable to grow the grasslands in the forest. Okay, for the to grow the grass, the warm conditions would be required. Okay, with the change of climatic conditions, all the grasslands would be raised. Okay, with the help of these grasslands, the earliest people changed their lifestyle from hunting to the controlling of animals. They would be controlling the animals, and they easily grazing the animals and controlling the animals. Okay, the conditions would be very useful for the growing fodder, and the growing fodder very useful for the to graze the animals. Okay, in this way, the earliest people changed to the domestication of animals and the domestication of plants. The controlling of animals and the growing of plants, that is called domestication of animals and plants. Okay. Now let us see the domestication of how the people changed from hunting to domestication of animals. Generally, the earliest people, if any animals they had seen, immediately they would be hunted. But from the hunting position to, they would be changed to the controlling the animals and grazing the animals with the use of fodder and grass. Okay, in this way, the controlling of animals and the growing of grass in the forest lands, that is called domestication of animals and plants. Okay, in this way, their lifestyle would be changed from hunting to the domestication of animals. In the next class, we will see more about the earliest people. Thank you, children.